May I invite Shri Vishwaketan Das, CEO, IIBF, to deliver the inaugural address. Audible, sir.
Thank you. Respected Sri Natan Gopal, sir, Secretary MCB, thank you for your valuable presentation. It covers almost everything in regard to the financial inclusion. And respected Dr. Murugan, respected Principal Sir Dr. Suresh, Mr. Suryanarayana, Chief Coordinator, and all the faculties of college, Madura College, the students, and my colleagues from IIBF who have joined. It's a great privilege, not only personally for me, for IIBF also to be associated with a college like Madura College, which is one of the oldest colleges. Right? So in that effect, IIBF is also started in 1928, one of the oldest institutions which is basically tasked to develop the bankers. Of late, we have started developing people who will be ready to join the BFSI sector. If you see in the last 5 years, the growth of BFSI sector is phenomenal. In the last 3 years, 46% of the employment has come from BFSI sector. Right? When we talk of financial inclusion, I had the opportunity to work as the General Manager Network 2, heading the Western UP as well as the Uttarakhand state, when this Prime Minister Jan Dhan started in 2014. And I have the first-hand experience how the accounts are opened, how the people were very happy to come to the banks to open the account and get their money directly credited to the account, as said by the Secretary Sahab. Right? So the benefits. Initially, all the banks were thinking, okay, those are the accounts which will have zero balance. But it has proved wrong over a period of time. When the accounts are opened for the people who are at the bottom of the pyramid, now it has been proved that more than 20,000 crores deposits are there in the Jan Dhan accounts. Right? Apart from the other benefits which all of you know. And it is a great privilege to interact with all the students here, because when we talk of fintech companies, when we talk of the banks, when we talk of the tech-fin companies, whether it is fintech companies, financial companies who are embracing technology, or the technology companies who are embracing finance, both ways, it is very interesting and important to learn how it has evolved over a period of time. What went wrong with the traditional bankers? Right, the first step in this financial inclusion process started by Reserve Bank of India by permitting to open differentiated banks in the form of small finance bank, in the form of payment banks. Right. So if you see the role of technology in financial sector, no sector has been impacted more than the financial sector at the advent of the technology. It has brought a paradigm shift in the functioning of the sector as well as the customer behavior, the expectations of the customer. Right? So everybody wants to leverage the technology to their benefit. Technology has affected the product, the process, the delivery of all the banking sector as a whole. Right? The products, earlier you used to have one size fits all our products. Now the products has to be customized, need-based products. Financial inclusion, maybe it needs a little more care when you design the products, specific use cases, right? Very small size ticket loans for a shorter period. We can call it microfinance, which has come into play. Now microfinance has given way to nano finance. It has brought about a whole revolution as far as how to develop a product, how to pitch a product. Right? How do you deliver the product? Creating a product is one part. How do you deliver a product? There comes the reach. There is a term which was coined fondly, Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mobile, JAM. Jan Dhan account using the technology of mobile and Aadhaar card, linked to the Aadhaar card. money gets transferred directly to their accounts, right? But it is not that easy as it sounds to be, right? So the efficiency of service, the speed of service, how do you ensure? There comes the role of fintech companies, right? When we talk of fintech companies, over a past few years, fintech has been embedded in the financial services ecosystem to such an extent that the term has now made its way into few leading dictionaries, as rightly pointed out. Right? The general perception of the fintech is products that companies employ, which suits the masses. Is it true? If you see, most banks have adopted to the new technology, right? So either you get you disrupt or you get disrupted. That is the mantra. The older banks, they are also trying hard to develop themselves as fintech companies, either on the standalone basis or either through collaboration. Take the case of State Bank of India. They have created one app, you know, you only need one, as it suggests, right? So now, if you enter into Uno app, you will have access to not only banking, you will have access to banking, you will have access to investment, you will have access to lifestyle products, you will have access to your travel needs, all encompassing. Right? When we talk of fintech also, how does it manifest? It manifests in the rise of new fintech startups. All of you are aware that Bharat Pay, which is now taking up PMC, of course, with certain problems. You think of Ola. Ola doesn't have any car of its own, but manages a fleet of more than 1 lakh cars. Think of Swiggy, doesn't own any restaurant, but provides you food whenever you need, wherever you need, at your convenience. Right? Think of Paytm. They have revolutionized the payment system. Go to any shop, Kirana shop, they will have Paytm. Right? So how it has evolved and how it was going to evolve is a very, very relevant topic which was taken by the college. I must thank the principal and the coordinator for choosing a topic, FinTech 2.0. But interestingly, FinTech 1.0 to 2.0 took close to 6 years. But I am very sure FinTech 2.0 to FinTech 3.0 will be much shorter. Right? At the advent of artificial intelligence and analytics, how does it help? How does it help? How does it help to analyze the customer behavior? Right? So digitization of financial services is an ongoing revolution. And because of the analytics, you have two things. One, you have to know what is the customer acquisition cost, known as CAC, is the popular term in the banking sector. It is not very easy to acquisition a customer with all KYC norms and everything. And by only acquisition, does it serve the purpose? No. You have to also see how you get best out of the customers. What type of products they need in their life cycle. That is known as customer lifetime value. What value it provides to the setup, either the fintech or the banks. Right? So that is customer life cycle management, where analytics and artificial intelligence comes to play. But to my beloved students, let me tell you, artificial intelligence works on human intelligence only. So my request to all of you, the knowledge is the power. In BFSI sector is reeling under the people who are not very much knowledgeable in regard to the technology. All the banks, why fintech companies are marching ahead? Because we have the generation which are not adept to shifting to the technology. Let me tell one thing which Henry Ford told long back. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether he is at 20s or he is at 80s. So here, what you read in the college, when you go come back and join to the any institution, BFSI sector or any institution, you have to learn, unlearn and relearn. That is where the role of IIBF comes. We are trying to prepare the students across the country to be industry ready. The courses we have developed now, all along we have been developing courses for the present bankers. How do they develop the bankers professionally? But now we are trying to create some of the courses where it will make the students industry ready, sector ready. Right? So how the things are changing so fast. Now, when we talk of loans, we need not go to the bank. There is some term called now BNPL, buy now, pay later. Many companies offer that. It is nothing but a specific personal loan. There is something called sachet model, like you purchase the shampoo sachets, 2 rupees. So those type of nano products, which will be very, very essential when you are trying to reach the bottom of the pyramid people. For financial inclusion, you need a specialized products, differentiated products. Right? So it is not that banking products which will be now sold as far as financial inclusion concerned. The market is open. There are investment products, mutual fund, other investment, corporate bonds. How do we do that? So here what we need, the micro investment sites, whether it is by fintechs or whether it is by the banks, right? New types of investment platform aims at empowering the small investors, which makes the investment very easy and accessible to the common people. Right? So how do you happen that? The banking sector is undergoing a tremendous change. Open banking initiative has come into play. Right? So open banking competition will not only promote competition, it will also promote innovation. Traditional banks, if they want to survive in this open banking regime, they need to unlearn and adapt to the new technology and new ecosystem. Now the collaboration is the key between the banks and financial fintech companies, between the fintech companies and the financial sector. The customers are now should be braced to accept product manufactured by one bank, A, which will be sold by a third party, B, may be serviced by another third party, C, which will be done seamlessly. So in the process, how do we see all the related terms, product, process, delivery, last mile delivery? And the most important is the compliance and risk assessment, rightly pointed out by our Mr. Natan Gopalji, the secretary. User be aware. This is now the catchword. See the frauds happening, close to 18,000 crores. The way cyber crimes are happening. This has to change, and this will change very fast. It will change from user be aware to provider be aware. The service provider has to take the responsibility to provide the service in a way that is foolproof, that is secure. That is why the compliance and risk management will be the cornerstone going forward. And there, the technology will have a major role to play. Right? So my only request to the students, please learn continually. When you never stop learning, because life never stops you teaching. When you stop learning, we stop growing, particularly in the financial sector. Right? I thank the college authorities to give me the opportunity, give the opportunity to IIBF to interact with the students. I wish all the best to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.